This is my lunch break. I'm working currently because of the coronavirus. I'm in home office. So I'm in my kitchen right now. Okay, I'm kind of an old gamer, but I'm doing games since I'm like 6 years old on a Commodore 64. So I've been gaming all my life. Mobile games, not so much. Actually, Art of War is the first mobile game I'm really playing a lot. Sure. I started Art of War as a single player, of course, as everybody does. And at some point on Discord, I realized there are other people playing and that there is a community behind this game. And shortly after I began to chat on Discord, I chatted with the same people, you know, the nicknames came up all over again, and you start messaging with them, and you realize there's groups of players who are organized. And quite early on, there seemed to be two big clans, which was RIP and Royal. You know, it was all the time these two clans, and sometimes fighting a bit in Discord as well. So I ended up at some point at a clan called Coalition, who was close to Royal, but smaller. And after some structure changes, merging to another clan, I was beginning to be bored in that clan. I was not chatting anymore, so I was looking for another community. And then I moved to RIP. So I've been to RIP quite a while, like 3 or 4 seasons, not long compared to others. And some things there started to bother me. I mean, it's good people. I have no fights at all, no bad blood. But I moved again from RIP, this time to Regal, which is like the B tier of Royal. So currently I'm at the Royal side. I've been at the RIP side before, and before that at the Royal side again. And all of them are dedicated players and good players, and it's really fun to have this community part behind. I mean, Art of War is relatively a small game. You have tiny little soldiers, and you do the same battles all over again, but the community and the strategy and the talks behind it, it feels like a role-playing game because of that. There are two genres. I grew up with, you know, with old computer systems, Commodore Amiga, Commodore 64. So this retro gaming, you know, really 30, 40 years old games, they fascinate me. And next to that, role-playing games. I haven't played games for a couple of years now. The last game I played really a lot were the bigger multiplayer role-playing games like World of Warcraft, Rift, Warhammer Online. So I've been in those kind of games active, and I like the community, the clan aspect of it, you know, that you have people that are playing together with you. And with Art of War, you have this small mobile game, but you have, with the clan, you have a role-playing aspect to it. At first, I did all of the 3 mentioned. I was in Discord, I was talking to experienced players. I looked at resources, and the first thing that got me into the game really quite deep and to look for strategies on my own were the YouTube videos. So I discovered Facecast at some point, and I watched all his videos. The problem was most of them were outdated, because you see something, you think it's a clever idea, and then you see it doesn't work at all anymore. But I like the YouTube videos by Facecast and also Dova Kim. So again, RIP and Royal resources I like very much. I think there was an advertisement on Facebook. That's how I first saw anything about the game. It was on Facebook, and I think, yeah. I try to optimize my formation and my available hero to the best possible formation given the resources I have, because I'm competing with players who have many more heroes and more troops, and so if you can switch all the time, you know, sometimes the meta changes and I have to stick with Davison all the time. So if I have to see how I get along with him, and so I try to get the best result with him. It used to be Ivan. I like playing with Ivan, and it was the first one I had. At some point, Ivan was in a certain level of arena not usable anymore. And then I was asking myself what hero I want, which kind of hero. Is it a spellcaster? Is it something else, you know? And I decided for Davison, to go for Davison. And I really like playing with him. And I've been talking to people at Royal recently, like also people who were really successful, and they like playing with Davison as well. Maybe they don't use it on defense sometimes, or maybe it's the game is preferring another hero, but I think many people like to play with Davison, and I do as well. I think I started the game when, or I was one of the big troops coming out when I was in the game was Frost Archers. So I started like 6 or 7 months ago, and Frost Archers coming in, I was unsure about them, and then ever since I had my first on level 8, I started building up Frost Archers, and I try to get as many as possible. So they are my favorite troops. There was one guy who attacked me and I attacked back, and we chatted on Discord, but he's from Royal, so he attacked me when I was in RIP, and now we are in the same clan, so it's not I don't have specific rivalries, but this guy, I mean, I like him, he's German as well, and we are talking about it, so it was a bit back and forth, and now we're in the same clan, so it's all good. I think I don't need to give advice to experienced players, because once you have certain experience, you know what you're doing. It's just a matter if you have the troops and the heroes to get your plans, you know, working. Sometimes you have an idea, you know what you want to do, but you don't have enough Frost Archers, for example, or something. New players, I'm reading on Facebook, in the Facebook community, sometimes messages which are from a certain experience level, people saying that magic apprentices are no good, for example, or, you know, it seems to be like this at a level 2000 and it's no good, or you seem to have some certain point of understanding, while when you get further in the game, it's totally different. My advice would be get into a clan. Get together with people who have been playing longer, and then you get some input how to build your strategy, how to build your formation, maybe not fuse away all those troops. And last thing I would advise is to sometimes you fuse away troops that seem to be irrelevant, and then at some point they get buffed and you kind of wish them back, you know. So maybe not fuse away all you have. Keep 2 or 3 or 4 level 8 of every troop that is in the game. Yeah, you mentioned Dr. J. He was one of the guys I talked with at RIP. Really nice guy. He took really much time when I started at RIP. I was talking with him a lot. I like that he helps new players, new guys in the clan. I think everybody wants to know about the more successful players, you know, Celtic, Dr. J, previous champions. So these kind of players who are up in the arena, you want to know how they did it, what kind of people are playing those nicknames. I was having the plan to get in the top 100 with Ivan. This was in version 3.0, I think. When I realized I won't make it with Ivan. So it took me a couple of seasons with Davison, and highest rank so far was 90. This was a big goal to get in the top 100. It's difficult because so many players are in there who are really good and who are putting much into the game. Maybe I can do better this season. We will see. I think, as I mentioned at the start, the community is really great. I mean, sometimes maybe not. It doesn't seem like it if you look at the public channels. Lots of discussions. Maybe some people are frustrated. It is sometimes you get too serious playing a game, you know. But in the clan, it was in every clan I have been in there so far, which was Coalition, UCA, RIP, and Royal. The community has been great. It's really helpful, friendly guys, friendly atmosphere. So I can advise everybody who is playing the game to get into a clan and find a group of players who are helping each other.
Art of War. Play now.